1973. There's a look at Highmark Stadium just outside of Buffalo, New York. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Allen looking to throw it right at the outset. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
Alert! 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 Alert!
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. And that one results in 35 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Where they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one...
Touchdown! Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook, and he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes... too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Loose inside the 30. Justin Jefferson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And I'll tell you what a bird's eye view I've got here, because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his. The absolute devastating effect.
And if you're wondering just how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats says 21.8 miles per hour. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Allen to throw it. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. And the Bills at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Diggs going in motion right. On 2nd and 10. Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
On first down, Allen. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And again, it's Allen. Touchdown, Bills. Gabriel Davis, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bucks are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A first carry here for Kanenu. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Second down, Cousins. This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 33. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Pretty entertaining start. 14 all to score on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cook up the gut. A solid stiff arm. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Cousins. And he wisely will throw that one away.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Johnson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Oh, a mistake there. The kickoff out of bounds. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A give up the middle to Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively.
Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Allen. He's got a man, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Allen. Touchdown. Gabriel Davis with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Bills are able to move back in front. What a 1st half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
A short kick taken at the 18. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Throwing, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Osborne. Finding space at the 40. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What did we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that 2nd play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. But right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive.
Be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
Flush to his right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Right, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Cousins. Been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. To throw, Cousins. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Alert, alert, alert! Half 85, half 85! Middle, 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 middle!
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
56, 56! Alert! Half 85, half 85!
Throwing on first down is Allen. He's got a man, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.